Santa got his job. Okay. When Santa Claus was a young man, he went out looking for a job. Santa wanted no part of desk or offices. He liked to stay on the move. So, when you guys are looking for a job, let's say you don't really like working with animals. So, would applying to go to a work at a veterinary hospital be a good option for you? If you don't like working with animals? No. So you guys got to think about, okay, if I want to work this job, I got to have some similar interests, okay? Maybe you like working with kids or students. Is maybe working at a school a good job for you? Yeah, so little things like that. So in Santa's case, he didn't want to be in a desk or office. He liked to move around. So his first job was cleaning chimneys. Santa was sure-footed on even the steepest roofs, and he loved twisting through tight spaces. So let me ask you guys this. Do you guys know what claustrophobia is?
Yes.
Okay, fear of tight, small spaces, right? So if someone who had claustrophobia, would this be a good job for this person?
No.
Probably not. So there's another thing you have to think about. But there was a problem. Santa was so neat that he never got covered in soot or made a mess in the fireplace. Back then, people used to warm their homes with coal, so that's what that black stuff is. It's soot. So nobody believed him when he said he was done. Where's the proof, said some. You're not even dirty, said others. And that led to a lot of arguments, okay? So he was so good at the job, they didn't believe he did it. So he got let go from that job, okay? Does anyone know what it means to be fired or something like that? Yeah. Yeah. Let's say, like, you have a job and you're late every day. Is your boss going to like that?
No.
No. So then they might get let go for that. Okay. Santa worked for the post office next, where everyone could see that he was doing his job. Santa's favorite part was bringing packages to people all over town. Waiting in traffic was frustrating, though. It's silly to waste all this time, he decided. To speed things up, he started making deliveries in the middle of the night. But there was a problem. No one was glad to see him at that hour. The postmaster got so many complaining letters that Santa had to leave. You have a question? Okay, just stretching. All right, so he got let go from that job. So he was a chimney sweep, a postal carrier. Okay. Since Santa had discovered he enjoyed staying up late, he tried cooking at an all-night diner. It felt good to fill orders for customers. Sometimes Santa even surprised people with extra helpings. Oh, I couldn't eat another bite, many of them insisted. Well, maybe just one. But there was a problem. Every night Santa tasted and sampled and tasted some more before he brought anything out of the kitchen. He gained a lot of weight. How would you guys feel if your cook was eating your food before they served you? No, right? So this is another job that you guys can actually go to school for to be a vocational job. It's called culinary arts. Can you guys say that? Culinary arts?
Culinary arts.
And if you really like cooking, you can go to school to become a chef. Yes.
My mom used to be a baker at home.
Very cool.
Yeah, but then she realized that she didn't like having to work all day and all night, and
So
they didn't have time to feed us, so she stopped doing that.
she didn't feed you the bread? It's a hard job working in the food industry. Yeah.
Do you know how long it takes just to be like a local chef?
It depends. I think I actually have a slide later in the game we're gonna play, and it'll show. Okay. All right. Hoping to get some exercise, Santa then found a spot at the zoo. He was very organized about the animals. I know when they are sleeping, said Santa, and when they are awake. Over time, he had learned whether they were behaving themselves or not. But there was a problem. Santa became close friends with the reindeer, and all the other animals got jealous. Sadly, the zookeeper had to let him go. All right. By now, Santa was starting to get discouraged. He didn't even notice that what the reindeer were doing behind him. They worked hard to cheer him up. Together, they joined the circus. Soon the reindeer were shooting Santa out of a cannon 3 times a night. Santa liked flying through the air and wearing his new costumes. He was a big success. But there was a problem. The ringmaster wanted to build up the suspense. You need to look frightened, he told Santa. We want the crowd to worry about you. But Santa was having too much fun for that. Ho, 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 he always cried as he flew through the air, so the crowd wasn't worried at all. The angry ringmaster soon fired Santa and the reindeer. As they gathered their things, some elves came looking for autographs. When they heard the news, they invited Santa and the reindeer home for supper. The elves lived way out of town. They were toy makers, and their house was their workshop. Santa was amazed. Children must love these toys, he said. The elves looked embarrassed. They only made toys for their own pleasure. Selling them was too much trouble. What if you give them away? Santa asked. The elves hadn't thought about that. I could deliver them for you, Santa offered. There were enough toys here for children all over the world. The elves smiled and hired him on the spot. So, yeah. You had a question now? So Santa actually kind of had like an interview right here. You guys know what an interview is?
Yeah.
What's the interview?
When you trying to get a job and they tell you what you've done in the past.
That's good. Yeah, so you have a little meeting. They talk about your prior job experience. So what were Santa's prior jobs? Yeah.
Working at a zoo.
He worked at a zoo, so he was a zookeeper, so he was good with animals. Yeah.
Chef.
He was a chef, so he liked serving people. Yes. Chimney sweep, so he went down chimneys. Yeah. He delivered mail. And then there was a last one. He worked at a
Zoo.
we said zoo, but good answer. Yeah. Circus, right? So he could fly through the air. So did all those jobs help him prepare to be Santa? Yeah. So he had prior work experience. Get that. So that's why they hired him on the spot. Mr. McDevitt, you had an interview for this job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it like more than one person? How many rounds did you go?
No, it's just
one?
Just with the principal.
Oh, just yeah. So like
Sometimes
me, yeah.
it's a panel, but yeah.
Yeah, so in my case, when I applied for this job, I had to have an interview, and I had 3 people asking me questions. So they each gave me a question, and I answered it. Okay, and I guess I'm here. So, yeah.
Do you remember who the 3 people were?
Not by name, but I could tell you by face. There was 2 principals and like an HR person, human resource. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the elves made Santa a special sack that was always big enough, no matter how many toys were put in it. Then they built him a sleigh. The polar bears offered to pull it. They were very strong and whipped Santa across the snow, but there was a problem. It was the biggest one yet. Polar bears don't fly, do they? No. To Santa's surprise, the problem could be solved. Santa and the reindeer practiced together every day. They made a few mistakes at first, but soon they learned to work as a team. In the darkest part of winter, when people need their spirits lifted the most, Santa got ready to go. As the elves said goodbye, they gave Santa an emergency kit. It held a compass, ski goggles, cough drops, and other things. Santa thanked them very much. All his jobs had taught him it was good to be prepared. Then Santa and his reindeer took off. That first night was a little hard because Santa was still learning about shortcuts and high winds, but at last he got the hang of it. Ever since then, the elves had made toys all year, and Santa has given them away in one night. He loves his job as much as ever, and he's gotten pretty good at it over the years. Still, he always keeps his emergency kit close by because no job is perfect. Okay, so what do you guys think of that one?